This is Cappadocia, a land unlike anywhere else in the world, a fairy tale realm where every layer, from deep underground to the open sky, holds its own mystery. So, is it enough to simply observe this unique geography from afar? Absolutely not. Cappadocia is an experience that must be lived. Today, together, we will dive into the very veins of this magical landscape and explore the top 10 activities that serve as your ultimate guide. Fasten your seatbelts. Our adventure begins. At the top of our list is that iconic silhouette that comes to mind whenever Cappadocia is mentioned, the hot air balloon. But this is not just a flight. It is an elegant challenge to gravity. In this routeless journey, shaped entirely by the wind, no two flights are ever the same. As you drift over Gourmet Valley, you get so close to the fairy chimneys that you feel as if you could reach out and touch them. A balloon tour is not about the sensation of flying, but rather the feeling that the world is slowly turning beneath you, a meditative morning ritual. Now we descend from the sky, deep beneath the ground, into one of history's greatest struggles for survival. Derinkuyu, or Kaymaklı, underground cities dating back to the Hittite period, later transformed into vast metropolises by early Christians fleeing Roman persecution. This is a masterpiece of architecture. Massive rolling stone doors that cannot be opened from the outside, and perfectly designed ventilation shafts that allowed thousands to live underground for months without suffocation. As you walk through these narrow tunnels, you will feel both the fear and the hope embedded in the walls for thousands of years. The name Cappadocia comes from the ancient Persian word Cappadocia, meaning land of beautiful horses. Exploring the valleys with these noble creatures who gave this land its name is not just an activity, but a tribute to the spirit of the geography itself. As the sound of hooves echoes through the silence of narrow trails where vehicles cannot pass, in places like Sword Valley or Red Valley, you will feel like a traveler from centuries ago, perhaps even a guardian of a Silk Road caravan. How about breaking the silence and kicking up some dust? Cappadocia's rugged terrain is a natural playground for adrenaline enthusiasts. TV tours offer a wild exploration through the sharp fairy chimneys of Love Valley or the abandoned streets of Tsiavushin. Feeling the wind against your face while splashing through muddy water puddles is the most thrilling way to experience the harsh yet entertaining side of this volcanic landscape. If you love adventure, but prefer a more comfortable off-road experience than an ATV, Jeep Safari is perfect for you. These 4x4 machines allow you to climb to hidden churches and legendary viewpoints that regular vehicles can never reach. This bumpy journey, filled with the expert maneuvers of skilled drivers, usually ends in style, raising a glass against the sunset in a secluded valley. For thousands of years, Cappadocia was one of the most important stops along the legendary Silk Road connecting east and west. Taking a camel tour is a perfect bridge to understanding the experiences of ancient merchants who once stayed in caravanserais. As you observe the landscape from above with the slow, rhythmic steps of camels, you will feel as if time has stood still. and you have been drawn into an exotic fairy tale. This tour is not just a ride, it is a reenactment of history. Get ready to create a striking contrast in this historic landscape dominated by shades of yellow and beige, with a pastel-colored classic car straight out of the 1960s, especially in the early morning, gliding through the valleys in a convertible, while hundreds of balloons float across the sky. This is not just a tour, it is an opportunity to become the star of a cinematic scene and a perfect moment for social media. A flawless combination of elegance, history, and scenery. The best way to truly understand Cappadocia is to slow down your steps. Walking through the green canyon of Ihlara Valley, accompanied by the sound of the Melindiz River, or exploring the thousands of pigeon houses carved into the rocks of Pigeon Valley. Hiking tours offer the chance to see the fine details that large tour buses miss, faded frescoes in rock churches, and the delicate brushstrokes of nature on stone. The most delicious way to understand a culture is through its cuisine. Cappadocia's volcanic soil nourishes not only fairy chimneys, but also exceptional grapes, pumpkins, and wheat. A cooking class with local women or professional chefs will teach you not just how to cook, but also the tradition of clay pots made from Avanos clay meeting fire. The joy of breaking open and tasting the famous testi kebab that you prepared with your own hands is truly priceless. As the day comes to an end, Cappadocia offers one final visual feast. Red Valley, named after the iron minerals in its rocks, is far from an ordinary sunset spot. As the sun approaches the horizon, the rocks transform from yellow to orange, and from orange to a blazing red. From the claustrophobic history of underground cities to the freedom of the balloons, from the warmth of clay-fired cooking to the dust of ATV trails, Cappadocia writes a different fairy tale for everyone. So, which one will be yours? Let me know in the comments which activity you would most like to experience. And if you enjoyed this guide, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to join me on future adventures.